just like the one next to it, and the one next to that, and the one next to that. A young couple live in it.
Give Ken a kiss.
With their 3 children. And something more.
Sweetie, remember last night? Do you remember when you woke up and you said you're here? Well, who's your team? Who's here?
Something's funny going on next door. Something,
We were wondering maybe you had experienced any disturbances.
What kind of disturbances?
Crosses a frightening new threshold into a world within our own. Its form is revealed.
Hey, what is going on, guys? I am not going to wait that whole time. We are here. We are going to be talking about some Blood Angels. I am super excited to talk about it. This Grotmas Christmas thing has been a lot of fun. I'm not really sure how the meta is going to be shaken out. This is a lot of information coming in at one time. I personally love it. I think this is how they should be releasing codexes. I'm sure I would get a lot of disagreement on that in the community. But with that being said, I am here with John and Dustin. Say hello, guys.
Yo, yo, yo.
What's up?
Yo.
I do not know enough about Blood Angels to have a coherent conversation about it. I do know that it's basically the antithesis of World Eaters. Well, I guess antithesis is not the right word. It's
Definitely not the right word.
the goody two shoe version of World Eaters. They're basically pretty similar. But Dustin, are you excited about this new one, or are you kind of just meh, or where are you at with it?
I like it. It's got a lot of flavor to it. It doesn't seem overly competitive. You could probably take it to an RTT and do okay. The GTs probably get a little blown out by other stronger detachments, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you're into like the beer and pretzels Warhammer, this is great.
Very cool. Is there I'm assuming you have a favorite detachment. I know we're going to be going through them, so yeah. And I know you're also a Space Wolf player, so did we get the space? I don't think we've gotten Space Wolves, have we? No, we haven't.
It hasn't come out yet.
Yeah. I will definitely be asking you to join us again when we go over Space Wolves, because I know you know them like the back of your hand. With that being said, though, John, what do you got for us in the lore?
So, something that stood out to me is that the Blood Angels were actually Khorne's first choice as far as, like, who he wanted to be the World Eaters, but it didn't pan out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because of their rage. They have a lot of cool lore. I'm just kind of learning about them. Some things that stand out to me, though, they're known for their red thirst, which they have the desire to maim and destroy anything, because like they're constantly reliving the death of their of Sanguinius, so they're just filled with rage and they just want to kill. So you kind of have a little dichotomy of they're the noble savage, someone else's words, not mine, but where they have to kind of control their rage and hate, and not just kill regular humans, because they kind of see everything as Horus. They contain their rage and they try to do, all other Space Marine factions kind of do art, poems, like they're kind of like scholar warriors, But these guys really have to do that because they do have the constant urge to let blood. And then the deeper I dug into the lore, their chapter master, Dante, super cool guy. Definitely the embodiment of rage as far as like killing his enemies. And it's funny, at one point, he fought a hive tyrant and he died. But he like saw Sanguinius in his death moments, and he's like, "Oh, is it finally time for me to, be with you, Father?" And he's like, "No, my son, get back out there and whoop some more ass." And he's still around. It's super cool lore.
You said Dante?
Yes, Dante.
So
that's their chapter master.
Real quick, try to pull your mic maybe a little bit closer to you because like you're talking, and I think it's trying to pick up your voice, but it's getting a little static.
How's it now?
Yeah, it's way better.
Okay, I just need to pull a little closer.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Dante the guy that? And this is part of the reason why I'm not a fan. I love Blood Angels. I love the playstyle. I love the fact that they're basically vampires. But like, Dante wears that mask.
Golden mask, dude. Yes.
Yeah, because he got a scratch on his face. Isn't that true?
Yeah, dude, you got to be looking good at all times.
I'm like, dude, come on, man. Like, you're a freaking space marine, bro. Like,
I think it's more like embody. Like he wants to try to embody Sanguinius, and I feel like it makes it more intimidating. I think that's what I'm going with lore wise.
Nice.
It is called the Death Mask of Sanguinius.
It is. I guess that emotionless looking face while you're fighting is kind of it is a little intimidating, but
yeah, it's got to be horrifying.
Vicious is already starting.
Oh no!
I was actually talking. I was thinking about this the other day about how I'm going to actually do this. This count on who does the daddy chill. Like, I can set up a counter for how many times it's been pressed, but I can't. Like, I am gonna have to dig and find out how to get it for each individual person, because now Jim is jumping in on it. You know what I mean? So now there's 3 people that I need to track.
I think George did too.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it's just the hype train.
Yeah, it's gonna get a little complicated. Yeah, pull that mic a little closer to you, if you can.
It is as close to the table as it can get. I can lean in closer.
Yeah. There you go. Way better. That's fine.
I shall be close.
I shall be closer. All right, so Dustin. So
My turn.
From your least favorite starting, obviously not talking about the new one, I am the chill of daddy.
Jeez.
Yeah, and Dustin, I like your little can I call it an exterminatus on us while we're talking?
Just blow us off the board.
If that happens, I just disappear.
Excluding the new one we're about to go over, let's start with like your least favorite detachment and then move forward into your favorite, if that makes sense.
So least favorite seems kind of loaded. I like to play competitive, even though I haven't played in a tournament in a while. I've been really busy with work and family and real life stuff. But kind of organized them as to what I believe is going to do well competitively. But I can't say it's my least favorite, because the one I consider to be the least competitive is probably one of my favorite flavor-wise. And that's the Lost Brethren. That's your Death Company detachment.
Okay.
Death Company is freaking cool because those are the ones that succumb to the Black Rage. They had the whole thing that John was talking about, with the Red Thirst. That's the Red Thirst on steroids. So they don't do good at holding objectives and things like that, but they're so much fun because they just run in very angrily and kill things. A lot like what you think orcs should play like Space Marine orcs.
Nice.
So in their detachment, all Death Company models get reroll wound rolls of 1, and if they're below half strength, they just get all rerolls to wound. That's only in melee.
All right.
All Death Company inherently get rerolls to hit on the charge. So now you're looking at rerolls of hitting and rerolls of wounds of 1 in most cases. Some cases, full rerolls to hit, full rerolls to wound.
I know,
That's nasty.
And this is just focused completely around Death Company, right?
The Lost Brethren is all about Death Company. So much so that there's an extra ability inside the detachment that gives Death Company Marines, the standard walking Marines with chainswords and bolt pistols, and the Death Company with bolt guns, which is a separate unit that just carries bolt guns. It gives them battle line.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So now you have battle line units to use with the new. What are we on now? We're not Leviathan anymore. We're in. I forgot the name of it.
Pariah Nexus.
The new mission packs. Pariah Nexus. There you go. So it gives you something to use there as well.
Yeah, I mean, freaking 6 units of Death Company is nothing to shake a stick at. Although, I mean, you're gonna struggle with some OC and control. They can't hold anything, right?
They can, as long as there's a chaplain within 12 inches of them. So it doesn't have to be in their unit, as long as there's one near that unit. So you can even make a tail with your models to get one near it, and there's still OC. And it's OC 1, but better than what it used to be.
Yeah, I mean, and that's super dangerous because, I mean, is there a way to give him loan op or anything like that?
No, no way to give him loan up on that one.
Yeah, that's
Not talking about the Grotmus one.
right. Yeah, no, I know.
You can give him sticky objectives. There's a strat for that. The standard space Death Company Marine with his chainsword is on foot. They have sustained hits automatically, so they're re-rolling with sustained hits, possibly re-rolling their wounds.
Nice.
And they're cheap.
Okay. So is there? I mean, obviously, Death Company being the standout. Is there any other standout units in that detachment, or is that kind of like its thing?
You gotta have chaplains, because without it, you lose your OC. You end up battle shot, so you can't use any of the stratagems on them. So you have to sprinkle some chaplains. Maybe not one in every unit, but probably one for every other unit. So you're going to spend a lot of points on chaplains, so a lot of characters in there. Main chaplain being Asterath. Asterath's a named chaplain with a jump pack. You can join the jump pack Death Company, who aren't battle line, but his massive doom effect is just money. It gives them devastating wounds every time they charge.
Ooh.
Which, quick reel into the lore, the chaplains are actually, they are able to kind of control the Black Rage, and they're basically like, the reason why they're so beneficial to the unit is because they're directing their anger of reliving Sanguinius's death. Because they fully succumb to that, where they're constantly, like, everybody they see is who killed Sanguinius, and the chaplains are who reined them in and direct their anger at the enemies of the Imperium.
Namely, what's that guy's name? I can't think of his name right now. Lamartes. Yeah. He succumbed, and he still is a little badass, right? And real quick, before we before we continue, I'm Not Supply said, I finally posted Ash Williams in the Space Wolf chat on Discord. Hell yeah, dude. And he also said, Blood Angels, the Blood Angels supplement is everything I want the World Eaters Codex to be, which makes total sense with what we were just talking about a minute ago.
Yeah. Yeah. That was, so Blood Angels were Korn's first choice of who he wanted to corrupt. World Eaters were close second.
It's not a hard thing to do to corrupt some Blood Angels, dude. They're all about getting in that close combat and getting some blood.
One would say they are Blood Angels.
Maybe.
Yeah, possibly.
One might say.
All right. Sorry, Dustin. Go ahead.
So moving on from Lost Brethren, Death Company, which I love the lore, I love the theme of it, love the play style of it. Not super competitive, outstanding. The other one, I find this one to be really interesting. I know there's something here, I just can't quite figure out how I would orchestrate it. The Angelic Host. So all of your jump pack units, which if you've ever played me in a game, you know I love jump pack units. They can go back into strategic reserves every turn. So at the end of my opponent's turn, if I've got 2 units of jump packs on the board, I can put up to 2 of them back into strategic and then come back down in my next command phase. So it's a lot of up and down, very Grey Knight-like.
Ugh. Yeah.
Nasty.
Yeah. Yeah. You can keep going.
Okay. That's really all that detachment gives you. It doesn't really give you too much else. So it seems a little anemic in that faction. Is hey, you're not getting. Hey, they got battle line on stuff, and they got reroll wounds and reroll hits and all this other stuff, and all I get is some uppy downy reserve shenanigans. But if you're looking to score objectives, that's great, especially when you have units like Inceptors, who can drop in 6 inches from you and blast the ever-loving crap out of you with their plasma or their sustained 2 bolters.
I'm not supply said what? It doesn't give you armor of contempt, LOL.
Oh, well, you still got your strats.
Yeah, it makes it. Sometimes some of these enhancements and stratagems are just like too good to pass up.
And that's kind of where I'd go with this. So the overarching rule for the army is, okay, that's cool, but I feel like it doesn't give as much as the other ones do. But then you have for 1 CP Unbridled Ardor. Basically, whenever an enemy unit kills one of my units, so say I got a unit of scouts I infiltrated forward, and your world eaters run into them and just annihilate them. Whatever unit killed them, for the rest of the game, all of my Sanguinary Guard get reroll hits and wounds against that unit. So I can just feed you dribblies the entire time, pay the CP when something dies. And now my best combat unit, jump pack unit, hits like a truck, is now hitting you more like a truck.
When you say dribblies, I'm assuming you mean like some chaff unit?
Yeah, a couple scouts, maybe a little whatever cheap battle line units you may have laying around. Just something small I can throw in your way. If it was Space Wolves, yes, dribblies. It just turbocharges the Sanguinary Guard. Descent of Angels, all that deep striking I'm doing, for a CP, I can deep strike within 3 inches of you.
Magoo! Oh my god.
Can't declare a charge, but they can shoot. And they're 3 inches from you, so they're probably touching the objective. So again, those Inceptors.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
The Plasma Inceptors constantly up and down, landing 3 inches from you and shooting you.
Yeah.
And stealing the objective. It's old school Inceptors.
Yeah, and Sanguinary Guard got a buff, did they not? I want to say, I mean, for the longest time, I feel like they were just a 2+ save, and they've got, what, a 2+, 4+ now?
Yes, they finally got an invulnerable save. They've never had one before. They finally got a 4+ invulnerable save, and they got a 3rd wound.
Whoo! That's crazy. They're Terminators.
Yeah,
they are flying Terminators now.
That's gross.
That's so stupid, man. They errated the 3-inch deep strike game wide. Okay. Yeah, there's a couple of those things too that Dustin knows the codex. He is just getting out of deer season and getting back into Warhammer season. So there's a couple things that he's going to be what's it called? I probably should have picked up on it. I didn't remember seeing anything about the 3-inch errata, but I don't know, man. There's so much information coming through right now, so yeah, definitely.
Right.
Read them things.
I know there used to be a lot of 3-inch deep strikes, and most of them that I see on here are on the app go to 6-inch, but even on the app that one still says 3 inches.
Yeah, and I think on the app they still have when you were looking at it, lone op being 12 inches when you pull it up in their thing. Yeah, that's gotten switched to 18, but everything is 6 now. I mean, 6 is still honestly, 3 inches is like, is it necessary? Is it necessary that I drink my own urine?
It'd be really cool for the fire warrior, or were they not fire warriors, the Eldar guys we were talking about. Oh my god, fire dragons.
Oh yeah,
fire dragons.
Yeah, that would be.
See, I remember things.
That would be so dumb. Three fire dragons coming in 3 inches. Fuck you, dude.
Disgusting.
But sorry, go ahead.
So Inceptor's doing Inceptor thing. Sanguinary Guard, the Sanguinar, is a lone op character with fights first and can just appear into close combat. So once you charge one of my units, I just pull the Sanguinar out of strategic reserves into engagement range with your unit. And then he has fights first.
Wait, say that again?
So the Sanguinar is a beatstick of a individual lone-op character who can come out of reserves once per game and straight into combat with a unit that just charged. So if you charge one of my units, I summon the Sanguinar, and now he's in combat with you, and he gets to fight first.
It's so gross. That's so disgusting.
Like 8 strength 6 attacks, AP -3, 2 damage, hitting on 2s.
Yeah, that's disgusting. Yeah, and I hear you. I'm not supply. I'm right there with you because we've already kind of discussed this a little bit, and I was like, oh my god, it's gonna be so gross in the new detachment.
In the new detachment, he's already awesome.
Yeah,
already worth his points. Just gets crazy on the new one.
All right, so moving on.
Okay, there's actually one in the Angelic Host that is very confusing. So in your charge phase, you can pay the 1 CP for Death from the Skies, and allows your unit to advance or fall back, and you can shoot or charge. That's confusing me because it triggers in your charge phase that says shoot. What am I going to shoot?
I mean, would you treat that like an Overwatch?
I mean, I just charged, but now I can shoot and charge even though I advanced or fell back.
Oh, you
At
said
that point, all my shooting's over with. Yeah.
Yeah, you
It's
said
just a bad right.
Sorry, I was confused because you said in your charge phase. I thought you were speaking as if I was your enemy and I was charging you. I was like, oh, it sounds like a free Overwatch to me.
No, my charge phase. I just charged with my unit. It's like, okay, even though I advance, I can charge, which is awesome. But it says shoot and charge, like there's no opportunity to shoot after that. So it's just a bad write-up.
I mean, is it trying to say that you can advance, shoot, and you can charge? So you can in your movement phase advance, you can shoot, and you can also charge.
And if it was in the movement phase that you paid your CP to hit this thing, I would agree. But
Oh, okay, so you're paying for it in the charge
you do
phase.
it in the charge phase.
Oh, yeah, that's stupid. That doesn't make any sense.
Shooting done.
Yep.
But hey, it's still 1 CP to advance and charge, which Blood Angels love. So it'll still get used every game. It's just the wording is dumb.
So much speed, dude. And these guys are moving, what, like 12 inches with these jump packs and shit like that?
Well, they're all infantry, so they don't have to go over ruins. They can just go through them.
So dumb. So dumb. But I digress. Go ahead, sir.
So, got to have a big... You probably want all the Sanguinary Guard. All 18 Sanguinary Guard, the Sanguinar, and some Inceptors. Just so they can keep doing the up and down and shooting you thing. Hey, there's an anti-chaos 5+ enhancement, so those world eaters can suck it.
Anti-chaos?
Yeah, there's a 15-point Archangel Shard. The bear's melee attacks get anti-chaos 5+ and lance.
I haven't seen anti-specific faction in a long time.
I know.
And as an Eldar player, I kind of miss that fluff, man, because that used to be a thing. Like, they used to have all kinds of special rules for Slaanesh. Even though back in the day when that was there, nobody played Slaanesh.
That would make sense, though.
Yeah, 100%.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's their arch enemy.
yeah. But anyway, sorry, go ahead.
All right, well, that about does it for Angelic Host. Again, I haven't figured out exactly how I'm going to abuse those rules, but I love the up and down thing with coming in and out of strategic reserves using Deep Strike. It only works on jump packs, so I can't use it with Terminators.
Oh, God.
Then
No way. Only you just have Sanguinary Guard that are Terminators. Not a big deal. Like what?
Not Terminator 2.
Why can't I have my Land Raider come in and out and deep strike? Like, what the fuck?
This is lame.
Oddly enough, once upon a time, I was able to deep strike a Land Raider.
I know. We were we were getting Logan in, and we got him to play Grey Knights, and we had him deep striking and teleporting his Land Raider all over the board back in the day. Yeah, that was funny.
God, it was awful.
But anyway, go ahead.
All right, last one, my favorite one, the one I think is going to be the most competitive, the one that interests me the most, and I think the one that everybody's going to be playing at the GTs, the Liberator Assault Group. Army-wide rule is on the charge. Everything gets +1 attack and +2 strength.
Wow, that's better World Eaters rule.
Yeah.
World Eaters gets
+1
+1 attack and +1 strength.
I was going to let that sink in for you.
That's pretty rough. That feels so bad.
You got the feels bads?
Yeah, really. Maybe Blood Angels are truly Corn's child and not World Eaters. Redheaded stepchild.
The game, I think that's how it's pronounced. Welcome to the chat. I'm an Eldar player, and my vehicles got assault.
Ugh.
The vehicle, so we covered Eldar slightly. We went more into depth on Drukhari, so I mean we'll probably do a stream where we deep dive into Eldar. I'm not a huge fan. I'm not not a fan. Just I don't think it's better. And I've never been I've always been a big aspect player. So, when they started moving towards this, let's make the vehicles better thing, or assault with vehicles. I'm like, dude, we don't have good vehicles to assault with. What are we doing here? That doesn't make a ton of sense. I mean, you got war walkers that can advance, but we'll cover. We can discuss after we're done.
I like fire prisms. One quick thing. So for Blood Angels, did you say they got +2 attack and +1 strength, or +1 attack +2 strength?
+1 attack, +2 strength.
Okay. Yeah, World Eaters have it baked in the detachment. So they're still getting, unless I'm reading it wrong, they're still getting +1 strength over World Eaters.
Yes.
Dude, fire prisms are my favorite unit. They basically remind me of the Hammerhead from Tau. I love it. I love Hammerheads. That is just the tanks, I'm not a tanker, but they are very cool.
The game said...
I'm with...
Sorry. The game said, are you telling me I can shoot my fire prisms point blank? How ridiculous would that be? Just this giant barrel just coming right in your face.
It's like 6 damage. Pink
I was going to
mist.
agree with... I'm not suppliers. I do not like fire prisms.
No.
I do.
Used correctly.
Sorry,
sadly.
my headphones just went out.
Oh no, we suck again.
I know.
Yeah, fire. I had a lot of fun on. We played World Eaters versus Eldar. It was my first Eldar game, and I definitely did not use the bikes correctly. But fire prisms, man, being able to shoot through a unit. A prism, very cool. Cool mechanic. I think it's a lot of fun.
So when the game said his vehicles got assault, that means his vehicles can advance and then charge, or does it mean you can open the doors, let the people out, and they can charge like a Land Raider?
No, it's not that cool.
That would be scary.
I'll look it up really quick while you're talking. I honestly spent so much time just freaking bricking up myself looking at the Drukhari one because it's so fluffy and fun. That yes. I didn't get to Armored Warhost. So ranged weapons equipped by Eldari models from your army have the assault ability, and you can reroll advance rolls for Eldari vehicle fly units from your army. Yeah, I mean, we have such long range with Eldar. It's almost like why even bother with it? I don't know. I don't know what It's cool, I guess. I don't know. The War Walkers
maybe. Yeah, I was about to say, it may be enticing you to bring vehicles you may not utilize as much.
Well, I mean, it would be better if, and I don't want to turn this into an Eldar stream for sure, but, well, fuck it, I don't care. I love Eldar. We'll talk about Eldar whenever we want
what you got against pointy ears, dude?
Fuck it, dude. It's my stream. We'll do what we want. No, but it's the advance rolls for Eldari fly vehicles. Only, I'm like, no, the War Walkers though. What about the War Walkers? You know what I mean? So it's not a bad detachment. I just personally, I'm a huge fan of aspect warriors more than anything. I always have been. I like that style of play. In conjunction with the fire prisms. Always been a fire prism fan. Especially back in the day when they used to be able to, their vehicles used to be able to like hop above the terrain, shoot, and then go back down so you couldn't see them, which
oh, that's so cool.
When we first started playing, I accidentally cheated with it for so long because it was an old rule from like 4th edition that my buddy that was teaching me how to play told me that's how they played. So like I was just winning against everybody all the time, and they're like, "Dude, stop shooting with your stupid fucking fire prisms!" Like I can't. And I'm like, once we read the book, like I don't know, 3 months later, Dustin's like, "Yeah, you can't do that." I'm like, "Well, I should probably learn how to play this game, huh?"
Oopsie.
But
I lost so many games.
But go ahead, man. Sorry.
All right. Yeah, Eldar just strands of faded that conversation away from us.
They do that.
That's okay. The game. I'm right there with you, dude.
They do be doing that. Strats are pretty straightforward. All 1 CP. They can get a 5+ field of pain against mortal wounds. That's not nothing. They can get another +1 attack, or I'm sorry, they can get +1 attack and +1 strength for 1 CP in my opponent's charge phase. So it's better when I charge, but if you charge me, I can still get something. I can get the World Eater's treatment.
Nice.
All right, and then the next one's... I can only get one or the other. So +1 attack or +1 strength. And then like the next 4, they're all dual purpose. Like you get +1 attack, +1 strength, or both if you allow yourself to come Battle Shock. So it's like, hey, I'll just take the Battle Shock, and I get both of those. So that is a theme throughout Liberator Assault Group is, hey, just take the Battle Shock and you get both options.
Nice.
Especially with chaplains. The basic foot chaplain in just regular power armor. Once per game, he can make you unbattle shocked.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Just like, hey, I was battle shocked, now I'm not.
And you still get the benefits, obviously, of what you got, yeah.
Which that's super strong now when they made, especially when they made the change of you can only insane bravery once.
Yeah.
So you're basically getting, it seems like a lot of value to me. Correct
Free
me if I'm
insane
wrong.
bravery.
Yeah. And you can still use insane bravery, I would imagine. Unless there's something baked in where you can only pass one battle shock, you know what I mean? Like auto pass.
No, you can totally. Oh no, reset. And it might not even be the unit he's a member of.
Not to sidetrack too much. You were talking about the librarians. Whenever we go over all the detachments, if you could, I'd like to cover Mephiston, who's their chief librarian, if I pronounce that correctly.
Mephiston? Yeah, well, I say Mephiston. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, what an interesting character. But once we cover it, I'd like to at least hear his stat profile and see if it's very fitting of someone considered one of the best psychers in the Imperium.
It is not, sir. It is not.
It looks amazing on paper. You're going to look at it on paper and be like, oh my God, this dude's a tank. But there's one small detail that just kind of shatters it all.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
That's exactly how I feel when I read words for the first time and people correct me. It's like macabre.
Pam or pan?
I think I can help with this whole pan situation.
Yeah, but the chaplain, it's pick a unit within 12 inches once per battle, and they become unbattle shot. So it'd have to be his unit. If you're running a crap ton of them anyway, that's a lot of not battle shot. Each chaplain gets that.
And what I feel like there's a theme with all of these too. Obviously, the chaplain needs to be basically in every list because it's fluffy. It's definitely what they need because they need somebody to guide them to not fall to the black or the black thirst, right?
Black Rage.
Black Rage.
Red
Thirst. Yeah, go ahead.
Is their desire to rip things apart. Black Rage is like when they've completely succumbed and they're like unable to distinguish anymore. The red thirst is like that constant desire. Black rage is when they fall completely to the desire.
I'm gonna stick
And
with
that's
black
when they need
thirst, dude.
direction.
Definitely sticking with the black thirst.
Yeah, that's totally.
I'm not
That's
surprised.
graphic.
I'm not surprised. Said butcher's nails. Yeah, right.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a crossover here.
But anyway, go ahead, Dustin. Was that?
Oh, okay. So the last four are all the dual options. So you have the +1 attack, +1 strength option. The next one is you can choose lance or lethal hits, or both. Advance and shoot, or advance and charge, or you can get both. But it's Blood Angel, so you're always going to take advance and charge. Then you can do fallback and shoot, or fallback and charge, or both.
Yeah,
Or it's gonna be fallback.
that lethal hits in conjunction with oaths really allows your units to punch up too. That's really strong.
Yes. And I like lance. So if you have a unit that needs that +1 to wound, which is what chaplains typically do for you anyway, amazing. Oh, I don't have a chaplain in this unit. Pop 1 CP. They have lance. They get +1 to wound.
Nice.
Well, okay. So when I saw the +1 attack, +1 +2 strength, I was like, oh my god, Power Fist just became anti-tank weapons. If you take like a 5-man Terminator unit, they have 3 attacks apiece. Power Fist, strength 8. They're going up to 4 attacks apiece. That's 20 swings. It's strength 10. Pop a CP for Lance, and now it's a +1 to wound as well. I mean, you're punching up into Imperial Knights
Yeah, you're wounding on 4s.
with a 170-point unit.
Yeah, that's so gross, dude.
Do chain fists already get anti-vehicle 4?
They do, but they hit on force.
Okay, so yeah.
So the Power Fist for a Terminator unit hits on 3s, but if it's my Oza Moment target, so I'm re-rolling it, they're hitting on 2s, re-rollable. They're all going to land. Basically. Like 18, 19 landed hits.
Yeah, it's nasty.
They're also going to be wounding on 4s.
Paul Mephiston, aka Vampire Jesus. Good to see you, dude. Awesome, man. I'm glad you're here.
Daddy, chill.
Daddy,
Yeah,
chill.
welcome. To speak on Mephiston or Mephiston. I feel like it's Mephiston. Mephiston. I'll say both ways just so no one gets mad at me. But so apparently he's the only person that has defeated the Pull of the Black Rage twice, and both times he was still sane after. And a lot of people think that that's suspicious, which, I mean, I guess that does, when I say it out loud, sound a little suspicious.
Don't be suspicious.
But I think he's a good dude.
Don't be suspicious.
Very cool guy. I'm excited to hear his profile.
Real quick, totally unrelated. I'm super happy with it. I added a new redeemable that's called Virus. If anybody wants to try it out, I'm just saying it's kind of cool. Just throw it in there. But yeah, no, Mephiston, dude. He's there was a story on him that I remember listening to while I was overseas, where there was a issue with the Blood Angels just getting fucking annihilated on whatever planet they were on. I can't remember. And they were like, well, I guess we need to call Mephiston. Yeah, there it is. That's pretty cool. I love it. And I probably made this one last too long now that I'm thinking about it, because that really is kind of wonky. But so
we got something for that too. Hold on.
Uh-oh. What are you
Before
doing?
we talk about more Mephiston.
We suck again. Yeah, Mephiston basically just comes out like a fucking boss out of this. He just like jumps out of a what do they call it? The flying tank, the flying fortress thing. I can't think of the name right now.
Storm Raven?
Yeah, Storm Raven. He just like basically walks out of a Storm Raven and just does a fucking Kamehameha and just kills everybody in like a fucking like a 200-mile radius, and then just walks back out. Just kills everybody.
Like,
Was it a
hammer?
Say what, John?
No, Dink can go first.
No, I was saying it's like whenever Thor slaps his hammer on the ground and everybody just dies.
I kind of look at it more like and I know you probably I know you don't know what I'm talking about, but the new Marvel Rivals game, when Scarlet Witch does her ult, when she's like and she just fucking kills everybody within that little radius. That
What does she say?
I don't know if she's saying anything.
Rage.
She's just like
every time I hear it, I'm like, scurry, scurry quickly,
run away.
Yeah, I know what I was gonna say. You said the Kamehameha, and I was like, is it that or is it a spirit bomb? Because I know Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, well, I don't. So I would assume
the only anime ever.
That makes it way funnier.
Only anime I ever watched.
Yeah, Spirit Bomb bigger.
As powerful,
destructive.
Paul said, as powerful as he is, the hive mind hates Tigurius more. Yeah.
True.
Well, Tigurius is the only one I know rules-wise, because I don't know the lore very well, that is anywhere near Eldrad. I remember being very annoyed when I played against Tigurius, and he had like almost better psychic powers than Eldrad. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, dude, Eldrad has been around like eons more, and he's like known for his psychic prowess. And it's like, what? Get the fuck out of here with this shit. Aramon much?
That was me and you. That was me
So
and you, like, back
with
in 8th
my
edition, wasn't it?
understanding of the lore, I'm not sure how much Tyranids hate Psychers, but I know Tyranids really hate blanks because it kind of disrupts their wavelengths. The Psychers do kind of the same thing. I know everybody who uses psychic ability kind of does not like blanks.
When you say blanks, are you talking about like Sisters of Silence?
So I've read the Caiaphas Cain books. That's my biggest experience with blanks. It's like basically people that Psychers do not work on them. Like, it just doesn't. Like, they can't interact, and it makes them feel extremely uncomfortable.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Sisters of Silence have that.
Yeah, they might have it. I just know it from, like, just certain individuals in the books that have that ability. And the Tyranids, it'll actually, like, break up their synaptic links, and they're just kind of stunned. And they hate that, you know.
Yeah.
Imagine the flesh-eating monsters not being able to eat flesh.
Do they individually hate it, or does the hive mind hate it?
Oh, the hive mind, for sure.
For sure.
But, I mean, individually, if they did have a will, they probably also would dislike.
And, well, when there's a will, there's a way, right?
Yeah, there's no will there. No way.
Dustin, sorry, man. I know we're getting off. Do you got anything else on there?
You're good. Standout units, Death Company with jump packs. A 10-man unit can bring 3 Power Fist, 3 attacks apiece, 4 on the charge. Add the Chaplain with that, the +1 to wound. He gets 4 attacks, another +1 on the charge, so you get 17 attacks jumping. Regular Terminators, like I said, Sanguinary Guard, always fantastic, because they're strength 6 normally, going up to strength 8. Captains give them another +1. Like, if you just take a regular jump pack captain with them, they're going up to strength 9, so now they're threatening like rhinos, razorbacks, other transport vehicles. And aggressors. They have the Twin Link Power Fist. Basically, anything with a Power Fist is fantastic in this. Anything with a chainsword becomes a major threat. Like, imagine a 5-man scout squad just with some regular close combat weapons. Strength 4 go up to strength 6 on a 70-point unit. It goes from being like, don't worry about those guys, to terrifying.
Yeah. I mean, that's strength 8 too. You know, like, you're going up to strength 8, like you're punching up with a +1 to wound. I mean, you're now, that strength 8 weapon is wounding on like most tanks on 4s. It's just crazy. The game said there's a great combo with Reavers and a certain unit that won't let you fall back. Reaver get a -1 of their leadership. Reavers?
Mm-hmm.
That's expound. Expunge. Redact.
Yes.
Ban.
Redact.
Ban.
Words.
Okay.
Ban.
Are we talking about Eldar, Reaver?
Yeah, I was wondering if we're talking about Reavers. Like, I said Reavers. I was wondering if we're talking about Drukhari. I'm like, I don't know Reavers from the Blood Angels. I think if we're talking about Drukhari and a certain won't let you fall back. Yeah. Reavers get a -1 to leadership. They give a -1 to leadership. Yeah. Go ahead.
We have an infantry squad called Reavers in Space Marines. All Space Marines have them. Start of the fight phase, each enemy unit within engagement range, blah, blah, blah. Battle shot test, subtract 1. So, yeah, they can make you take a battle shot test and subtract 1 from it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like Games Workshop is actually starting to lean in the direction of making Battle Shock a little bit more of a thing with some of these detachments that's coming out. So that's nice to see. You know, it's like,
Yeah, I definitely think it should be.
yeah,
I mean, that is like it should be important. Like if dudes are getting slaughtered and having a bad time, like we should feel the effect.
you're not going to have a good time.
Yeah. If before we go too far, I would like to hear I know you're talking about standout units. Just for my curiosity, I would like to hear more about Mephiston. A little bit obsessed about him. He seems like a cool dude.
All right.
Hold on. The game, he said, sorry, I'm French speaking. I'll find the combo and send it here. I got you. No, I appreciate it, man, for sure. And I appreciate you watching.
Yeah, thank you.
Over there in in France, huh? Actually, one place I've never been. You know, there's a lot of places I haven't been. I've pretty much been to the.
There's a lot of places I have not been.
Well, no, I mean
the world.
I've actually been
fair.
I've been to a lot of places, but France is one of those ones that I've always wanted to go to, like go visit the Louvre and all that shit. I just haven't been able to do it. England is also another place I haven't been either that I would. Dude, Warhammer World. We actually, when we got back from deployment, Corey and I were supposed to go to the London Open, but we ended up not being able to go because of work for some reason. I can't remember, but
So like Disney World for Warhammer?
yeah, pretty much.
Blizzard World,
No.
but better.
Wait 3 hours in line to ride in a drop pod, which is just one of those normal drop zone towers.
Oh, the game's from Canada, so it's funny.
Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense too. Yeah. They do that.
I mean, that's even funnier. You're like, I'd love to go to France. It's like we're not the only country that speaks French.
Yeah. I just assumed because I'm stupid, but I have been to Canada though.
Cultured loser,
Dude. I've been to Canada. Canada's gorgeous, dude. I used to go to Vermilion Bay and go fishing out there. It was fucking amazing. I mean, this is years ago.
I bet.
Yeah, dude. Talk about like going into a place where it is just like surreal. Like it is just beautiful out there. And there's like no city lights anywhere, or there wasn't when I was going there at Vermilion Bay. We used to go fishing. And it's like at night, dude, like you can see everything, like the Milky Way, the stars. Like it was just gorgeous. But anyway,
no light pollution.
Yeah.
Very nice.
All right, so I'll start with his stats, his baseline stats. Movement 7 for an infantry model, already outstanding. Toughness 5 for a Space Marine, just a regular Tacticus Marine, really good. 2+ save, 6 wounds, leadership 6, OC 1. Abilities, he has a Feel No Pain 4+. He's got a 5+ invulnerable save. He fights first and he's lone operative.
Ooh.
Yeah, that fights first
Yeah.
I love fights first, dude. So good. Yeah, but
so 2 up, 5 up save with a 4+ Feel No Pain in every environment. It's not like situational to mortal wounds or anything. It's just always there with 6 wounds at toughness 5. Dude's a tank.
I like it.
All right, and here's where everything sounds great until the end. Melee weapons. He has the Vitarus. It's a sword. He has a sword. 6 attacks, hitting on 2s, strength 9. So this detachment on the charge going up to strength 11.
nice.
AP -3. Lethal hits. D3 damage.
Not so good.
That's the part that everything else is so awesome.
I mean, if you
D3
roll
damage.
like me, it's probably a good time, right?
Oh God, here we go again with the if you roll like me.
Yeah, if you could just get better at the whole luck thing.
Yeah, it's 7 attacks on the charge at strength 11. AP, awesome. I'm going to roll like 1s and 2s.
Psych Seal, what's going on, man? Good to see you. I figured
What
you'd
is
be here
up?
for the Blood Angels stuff.
So Dante or Mephiston, you can only pick one.
Dante.
Yeah, Dante.
Oh, yeah.
I like the whole angry, throwing yourself in situations you can't get out of, but you're just so good that you just don't die. Then when you do finally get your chance to die, Sanguinius is like, nah, fam.
Game
So,
Club
not only that-
Central. Hold on, guys.
What is
Awesome,
up?
man. Thank you so much.
Detected. Arming raid defenses.
Game Club Central, guys. Welcome, Raiders. First of all you beautiful people. Thank you so much. If you guys haven't checked out Game Club Central's channel, please do. He does some premiere content. It's awesome. Mr. J Crane, good to see you. What is up? Yeah, he does. I mean, he's kind of a little bit of a variety streamer. He does one of my favorite things that he does is every Saturday morning, he does like a Saturday morning cartoon thing where it's the old school cartoons, like what we grew up with. And he also
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
was that a cartoon? I'm sure it
Johnny
was.
Quest.
Biker Mice from Mars.
But it also he even puts the old commercials in there that we saw as kids, like creepy crawlies and shit like that. It's awesome, man. I love his stream. It's so good. Thank you so much again, Marty. I certainly appreciate it. And how was your stream? How did I don't know if you're still in here or not, but I hope you had a good stream, brother.
Hey, you didn't answer. Does he watch Johnny Quest? Dude, I love that show.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's one of my favorite shows. Not because my name's John or anything, you know what I mean? Like,
yes and yes. Hell yeah, man.
there we go.
Guys, we are talking about Warhammer 40K right now. Not sure if anybody's interested in that content. However, we are just also kind of just chit-chatting and having a good time. So please feel free to just stay and hang out with us and talk all the trash, calls nerds if you want to too, because we're definitely okay with that as well.
Yeah. Do I need to give another lore hook so they know what we're talking about? Because we're talking about Dante versus Mephiston, and I can probably give a good general description for people that are not familiar.
They probably don't know
the
what
4K
Dante,
universe.
Mephiston, or Blood Angels or any of it is.
I would go into it.
I'm not supplied. Talk about Dante's arthritis.
He is old.
Dude be suffering. He suffers from success, unlike myself.
But Dustin, what else you got, brother? Is that it for that one, or you got a couple more things?
That's pretty much it. We can start talking about the newer one.
Okay. Yeah, I am super stoked to talk about this, especially with Sanguinar. All right, so this new detachment is called the Angelic Inheritors. Their detachment rule is called the Legacy of the Angel. At the start of the first battle round, select 2 of the legacy abilities listed below, and it applies to all Adeptus Astartes characters units from your army. Sanguinary Grace is this unit is eligible to shoot and declare a charge in a turn at which it fell back. Carmine Wrath, each time a model in this unit makes an attack, reroll a hit roll of 1 and reroll a wound roll of 1, which is pretty much copy and paste for what we've been seeing for everything that's been coming out with the Grotmus Christmas. I can't remember how it's said, but you can reroll. Go ahead.
I was going to say, if you're watching and you do not know what a grot is, it's a little goblin. So it's Goblin Christmas.
Yeah, from the...
Just to give context, just in case we have anybody that doesn't know what a grot is, it is a little goblin, and he's kind of like a workhorse for orcs in this universe.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Their appointed hour, you can reroll advance and charge rolls made for this unit. The restrictions are you can only have Blood Angels, which makes total sense, because that would be lame if it wasn't like that. Real quick, just a quick thought, Dustin. What are your what's your take on that? How are you feeling about that as a Blood Angels player?
So of 3, you get to pick 2.
Yes.
Automatically their appointed hour. So reroll advance and charge rolls. Gotta have it.
Yep.
Actually, do they even have a pay 1 CP and?
Oh, we'll get to that. I was just wondering what your thoughts were.
Just say
on
if
the
you had
detachment rule.
advance and charge, or could get that makes it even better. But yeah, you gotta have that. Charge after falling back is also a really strong one because they get charge bonuses always. So slapping somebody, all right, I don't have my charge while something being sustained. And it's the old version of hit and run. There's a lot of movement shenanigans there, getting to an objective you previously were blocked from. So I think Singere's Grace and their Appointed Hour are the two go-tos.
Psych Seal said, Mephiston is Mary Sue, Dante is suicidal. Sorry, I missed that earlier, Psych. And then Paul said, reroll's always welcome in my mind. Yeah, for sure. And then
especially when you roll like Kyle.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. Psych also said, no access to advance and charge in this detachment, unfortunately.
Ooh.
So, moving on really quick. Or did you? I'm sorry. I think I interrupted you, Dustin. Did you have anything? Were you about to say something?
Oh, no, I was saying reroll hits are great. Reroll wound rolls of 1 are great, but we have O's a Moment still. Death Company with jump packs already get full reroll, so we got a lot of different reroll stuff already, and we can always access it later, foreshadowing of what's to come.
Yeah. So for the enhancement, Prescient Flash for 20 points. Models in the Bears unit have the Scout 6 ability. If anybody's been on here, or Mike for sure. Good for Sanguinor and Dante. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
If anybody has been watching any of the other previous streams that we've done where we've been covering this stuff, you'll know that I am kind of a fanatic about Scout and Infiltrate in this edition because it is so good with the Pariah Nexus missions that we have.
Board control is very strong with the missions, especially when you have stuff like Terraform.
Yeah. I mean, and I know what Dustin is about to say, where he's like, it's not that good because you have so much movement already. So it's not that it's not good, but you're like, we already have so much movement, so you can make up for that anyway. But I will say it is a mind fuck because knowing that you have that Scouts, when you're putting your models down, that will possibly force people to put their infiltrators over there to give you road bumps to slow you down. If you have Terminators, not sure why you wouldn't deep strike them, but whatever. And I know that you can just fly over those road bump units, but I mean, you can put them, we know how fast they move. You move, 12 inches? So, you put them at...
Yeah, that's like my standard measurement in real life.
Yeah. You're so
That's stupid. Like, I know exactly what that looks like.
It might not be 12 inches, but it sure smells like a foot.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, that was actually very good. It was like it was definitely a dad burn. I feel bad now. Here I am trying to be funny and everyone's shutting me down.
Even for jump pack units, that takes it to basically an 18-inch move on your first turn, which is outstanding.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah,
but a 6-inch move unit or a 5-inch move unit like your aggressors and terminators, getting that extra movement early on, getting in the center of the board for controlling the center of the board is absolutely fantastic.
Over a free turn of movement, like you're getting a little bit additional for those 5-inch movements, which is awesome. It is so good. I don't think it can be overstated because it's that good.
If you're just using that first turn to get position, you have say the aggressors 6-inch scout, the 5-inch move plus a rerollable advance.
Real quick, I want to pause to acknowledge the game here. He said it took forever, but I got the combo. Mephiston with assault, intercessors, and reavers within 6. Mephiston gives fight first, and you can't fall back without succeeding a leadership test, giving them a -1 leadership.
Ooh, that is a good combo.
Mm-hmm.
It's like forcing them to stay in combat, so you can stay locked in, so you can't get shot at either.
I wonder if
infantry.
I wonder if there's any other ways to do shenanigans and get some more leadership off of there. I don't know the codex well enough. That's definitely worth looking into. I would assume. Aren't you usually advancing those slower units turn 1 anyway? Yeah, I mean, but you're getting another 6 inches. What I feel like it does is it gives you another way to play Terminators instead of having to deep strike. Especially with missions. So, and Dustin, I know you were on the stream for when we were talking about when I broke down all the missions. For those center missions, like the ritual. That's terrifying for something like the ritual. You get that.
1 second. Paul commented he thought that he had lone op.
Yes, Mephiston is lone up, so he's got to be within 6 inches. That's what he was saying. That's what I was just rereading. Assault intercessors and reavers within 6.
Oh, I got you. I got you.
Yeah, he can't actually join a unit.
Yeah. So you have them around. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
But I feel like it gives you another tool in the toolbox. I mean, at 20 points isn't terrible for Scout 6 for something like a giant squad of Terminators, like a whole brick of Terminators. I think that's
a free turn of movement is totally worth 20 points to me.
Mm-hmm.
After playing a little bit more, it seems so good.
And when I run big bricks of Terminators, 10-man Terminators, I typically do start them on the board because we try to deep strike something that big of a footprint, you always get blocked out anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, the only thing you're going to struggle with that Scouts, though, is if somebody, just plops down a infiltrating unit.
Infiltrate.
Yeah.
Which, that's definitely something, like, especially playing Tau and having kind of like an easy access of infiltrate, I'm for sure bringing stealth suits to try to deny Scout.
Oh, yeah, but we got to take turns, so I'm getting half the board. You bring my own infiltrators, I'm taking half the board. I'm creating myself a hole to get through.
Yeah, and with the amount of Scout and infiltrate that's starting to infiltrate this game, as it were.
No. Yes.
I feel like this is turning into, yet again, I'm getting a little worried about it with how much is there, actually, because it's going to turn into your decisions pre-game, your placement.
Yeah.
It's going to be even more important than it really, I think, ever has been. Because if you don't have, honestly, if you're an army that doesn't have a lot of Scout or infiltrate, you're really kind of behind the power curve. You're not going to have a good time because they're going to stop your ability to do a lot with that, man. It's I can't stress enough how good Scout and especially with like Drukari getting Scout 9 in a vehicle, like fuck you, dude. That's so good.
Well, just a quick point to bring up. It actually kind of hurts like armies like World Eaters. World Eaters doesn't have easy access. Like we'd have no infiltrate units. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure I'm right though. There is no infiltrate, so if you have enough Scout or if you have enough infiltrate, you can deny a lot of World Eater Scout moves with Invocatus.
Oh yeah,
and that would be a really feels bad moment.
Yes,
for World Eaters. Like you're like, oh no.
Well, I mean,
I can't charge.
Do you have any infiltrate in demons?
Demons? No, not for because it's got to be corn demons, and none of the corn demons have infiltrate. They have deep strike, but no infiltrate. I could be wrong. I'm not going to say that I'm speaking from a position of 100% knowledge, but I'm confident.
Read the chat.
That they're only Scout.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Oh, that's terrain. Yeah, the Skull Altar is terrain, so no, we don't. Yeah, I thought so, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to be. I know it all, but I was pretty confident in my knowledge that we do not have infiltrate. So it's like you can deny a lot of Scout moves for World Eaters, and that's terrible because we're already a coin toss.
Yeah.
As far as like.
Yeah, I got you.
It is in the like whenever you look at it, like going first is definitely very beneficial for World Eaters.
Right.
Getting turn 1 charges super strong, very good. So you being able to really like stem the tide of movement is strong. Like a good World Eaters player can still work around it and do well, but whenever you're a mediocre World Eaters player, you're gonna have a bad time.
Got you. Troubling Visions. 15 points. Once per battle in your command phase, the bearer can use this enhancement. When it does, until the start of your next command phase, all angelic legacy abilities are active for the bearer's unit instead of only 2 of them. That is worth 15 points. I think.
That is worth 15 points.
Yeah, 100% worth 15 points. That's really good. I feel this doesn't even synergize. Are we talking about troubling visions that doesn't synergize? What are we talking about there, Psych?
I'll let you guys talk about that. I'll be right back in 2 seconds.
Okay. While I'm waiting on Psych here, Dustin, there probably isn't a whole lot that needs to be said about that, I'm assuming, unless you've got something.
Well, okay, so all three of the abilities individually aren't like overwhelming, but like, you know, I would skip on the reroll hit rolls of 1, reroll wound rolls of 1. So that is just 1 turn for 15 points. Normally when you're making a list these days, you have like 20 points left over because there's no 20-point units out there. So it's a great one to take up those extra points, and you can 1 turn just give them for free, no stratagem. You can't stop it. Reroll hit rolls and wound rolls of 1, especially towards a late game, that's going to be very valuable. Or if you say you didn't take the charge after falling back one, it's like, hey, 1 time this 1 unit can.
Yeah, so Psych is saying fall back and charge in the same turn as advance and charge. So what I would assume the way that this would work is you would take either the top Sanguinary Grace or their appointed hour. And if you had that available to you, you know, say that you're able to charge in a turn in which you fell back, like you already have that static in there, but you want to be able to, like, say you mangle a unit where you're not really worried about them anymore, and you just, you know that like bolter fire can take out the rest of what you've got left, and you need to make a, you know, like there's a unit that's a little bit farther away than you want them to be. You'd be able to, you know, you'd be able to reroll your charge rolls for it. I would assume that's how you would play that. It's just another way to get out of combat and just move up the board, or, you know, move wherever you need to, and just ensure, or as best as you can, ensure that you'll be getting your charge off on a unit that's a little bit farther away than you'd like them to be.
Yeah, you're not going to use both of them at one time on the same unit, but you have all these units being affected by them. That 1 unit can, well, those are the 2 I would take off the rip anyway. I want my entire army to be able to advance and reroll advanced rolls, reroll charge rolls, and I want them to charge after falling back.
So you'd bring those together off the rip.
I'd bring those 2 together because I want my entire army to be able to do that. Either I want to get there faster, make sure I get in, make my charges, and then after I've hurt a unit, didn't kill the unit, I want to be able to leave.
Yep.
And then some other unit charges it.
Yep. Something that, you know, wouldn't otherwise be able to normally deal with that, but now that you've rendered that unit not effective, you know.
It's maximum movement because I'm now leaving combat, moving 12 inches. Charging again, which is more inches. I'm moving across the table so fast, leapfrogging you and your units to do it.
Yeah.
So quick. The melee phase is the fight phase, charge phase. It's all about movement. So I am now, you look at a 12-inch profile, it's like, okay, they're pretty fast. And all of a sudden, I'm re-rolling my charge rolls, getting my charges off. So I'm moving an extra 5 or 6 inches there, fighting, consolidating around. Next turn, leaving, moving 12 inches, charging. It's like, crap, this dude's moving across the board.
Yeah.
In 2 turns, 30 inches at a time.
This is the same way that I used to play Drukhari with when Hellions were good and they had hit and run, and they were like one of the only units that had hit and run. I would bring 2 giant units of them, and basically just I would frog leap them. So one hits them hard, leaves combat. The next one hits them, leaves you know, like it probably finishes that unit off, and that'll allow. Yeah, and they basically just keep hitting the same units over and over again as you're charging up the board, and you're getting that extra movement from combat. Because let's face it, you know, 8 inches, you're you know, like Terminators, the Death Guard, Death Shrouds. We move 4 inches. Yeah, 4-inch movement. Like the most movement we're getting in the game is from our charges. So you know, like that's kind of how I look at it anyway.
Yeah.
Also, I want to point out you said frog leap instead of leapfrog.
Well, that's because I frog leapt those words. So
no,
whatever, dude.
Leap frog. Say it right.
I'm not saying it.
It was very funny.
He's very dyslexic.
It bothered me. I was like laughing because I was like, oh my gosh, he said frog leap.
Blazing Icon for 20 points. Depth doesn't start as infantry model only. Enemy units cannot use the fire overwatch stratagem to shoot at the bear's unit. Definitely a probable. I would assume an auto include.
That's a must-have for me.
Yeah, you don't want your dudes dying to Wraithguard or well, actually they're not as good at Overwatch as they used to be. But you definitely don't want to be caught up in a Death Guard army. The way that I play them, at least, where they've got a million flamers.
Land Raider Redeemers.
Daddy, chill.
I'm not supply. Got the daddy chill from Vicious. No.
Haha.
They've been going back and forth. I think he has 2 so far.
Oh, yeah, does he? No, I didn't see it.
Yep, he does.
Psych said, I'm getting my wires crossed in Grey Knights where you just bounce and don't fight.
Right.
Yeah. No, that's those two together I feel like are pretty gross. Yeah, so I'm not surprised. There is a there's almost like a fight between John, and Vicious where they're constantly hitting that daddy chill thing.
Yeah, I'm not even in competition anymore. Everyone's been just destroying me. Feels bad.
I've never played it.
I've never played it.
They're little footballs. I don't know why that made me think of the way you just said that, but all right, so Ordained Sacrifice. By the way, also there is another redeemable that I forgot about that's super fun that makes the screen look like we're playing Super Nintendo. Just throwing that out there. Anyway, Ordained Sacrifice, 25 points. Adept as a starting model only. The first time the bear is destroyed, roll 1d6 at the end of the phase on a 2+. Set the... Thanks, John.
Set it back up.
When you sounded so sad about saying that you had something and no one was using it, I'm sorry. That's what came to mind.
I didn't fucking shit.
Set the bear back up on the battlefield as close as possible to where it was destroyed and not with an engagement range of 1 or more enemy units with 3 wounds remaining. Basically, taking the old school Urian Rakarth rule that he only had access to, which seems to be the status quo for GW. They give Drukari cool rules, and then they just disperse it to everybody else, because why not?
That's what Space Marines do. Just take other people's shit.
Yeah, very true. Very true. I feel like you could probably take this or leave it. I don't feel like it's necessary. I don't think I would waste 25 points on this. Honestly, I feel like these points are a little skewed. I think that Troubling Visions is probably worth 25 over Ordained Sacrifice. That's just me, because you can't take these enhancements, obviously, on named characters. So I just, if you could give the Sanguinor that, does he come back? He doesn't come back, right?
No, he doesn't.
Okay, yeah. If you could give the Sanguinor that, then for sure that's a 25-point upgrade. But I just don't feel like that one's worth 25 points, in my opinion.
It would be worth 25 if he could come back within engagement range, because that's what Blood Angels do. That's where they want to be.
Well, I mean, yeah, but you're coming back with engagement range. Oh,
yeah, let him fight.
No, well, depends on when he dies, I guess, because you don't want him coming back and dying immediately. But I'm sorry, Dustin. What do you think? Is my take on that correct, or am I totally off?
Well, on a chaplain, maybe. Anything like an army that has heavy use of precision. It's an insurance policy, but it's 25 points.
Yeah, it's pricey. I'm not supply
like
said.
Allstate.
Dustin, do you have any characters that fight on death? I don't remember you saying that there were.
So characters with it baked in, no, but there are some things. There's some things.
Show us that thing. Pull that thing out.
Hawk Tua.
No, I can't say that anymore.
No, she is that. What a piece of shit, huh?
Hot water. Don't just go creating NFTs.
The Lost Brethren detachment with the Death Company. For 1 CP, that whole unit gets fight on death.
Okay, so that's a what's it called thing, right? A
Death Company thing.
Yeah, detachment specific thing.
Yeah.
Is it Death Company all the
CP.
time, or no? Yeah, okay, it's a CP.
No,
so
no, it's one CP. No, it's not like my Space Wolves where the Wolfen, they just have it all the time. Just there.
I'm Not Supply said, what did she do? I just invested my whole TSP in her crypto token.
You're not gonna have a good time.
You're not having a good time.
Yeah.
Real quick, so let's run through these strats, and then I would like to hear Dustin's example of. Oh, look at I'm Not Supply running up that frickin' daddy chill.
He's at 3. At least. I think he has more than that.
So we've got the normal AOC, your opponent's shooting phase. I don't even want to go over this one. It's been kind of nerfed into the ground a little bit. It is not that good anymore. Armor of Contempt, it's usable. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying it's not as good as it was. It's not as good as it once was. Armor of Contempt has been nerfed to, which this still says until the end of the phase. Each time attack targets your unit worse than the armor penetration characteristic of that attack by 1. I think there might be an FAQ on Armor of Contempt. I'm pretty sure that it's only for, like, if you'd use it during shooting, it only lasts for who's targeting. Your opponent's shooting phase, just after enemy unit has selected its targets, one of the unit from your army is selected as one of the target. One or more of the attacking unit's attacks till the end of phase. Each time an attack targets your unit. Worse, that wording is a little making it seem like it's old school Armor of Contempt, but I definitely, same errata as the 3-inch deep strike. Okay, so this is probably pre-written, and then they FAQ'd it, or not FAQ'd it, but errated it.
GW would never fix something immediately after printing it.
Right? Yeah, it's like, God, we can't go back and rewrite this. I mean, it's being released digitally. We can't do that. That's ridiculous.
No thanks, bro.
Yeah, like, what are you...
What's the scene from Elf when it's like, but we didn't print the last 2 pages? Like, ship it.
Ship it.
So yeah, it's really good for close combat, not so good for shooting, unless you are getting hit with a bunch of AP1 that'll, like weight of dice, I would assume. But anyway, Focus Fury, I spent way too much time on that. Sorry, guys. Focus Fury, fight phase. One unit from your army that has not been selected to fight this phase. Until the end of the phase, melee weapons equipped by models in your unit have the lethal hits ability. If your unit is a character unit until the end of the phase, those weapons have the lance ability as well. That is very strong. I feel like that would be used all the time.
Dustin is raising his hand.
I have a question.
Please acknowledge.
So when they say is a character unit, does that mean the unit has a character with it, or is this just a character like Mephiston?
Well, that would be both. I believe. I think when they're referencing if your unit is a character unit, that is either a character by itself as a unit or a character that is a part of a unit. One Adeptus started unit from your army that has not been selected to fight this phase until the end of the phase. Melee weapons equipped by models in your unit, keyword models, have the lethal hits ability. If your unit is a character unit,
the character himself is the only one that gets lance.
Till the end of the phase. Nope. It says those weapons. So if you reference that back to models in your unit, those weapons have the lance ability as well.
Okay.
I was
curious.
It's a good question because I know you and I talked about it earlier. I do feel like that's the way that is meant to be played. And the unit has the character keyword. When a character joins a unit, the whole unit gains the character keyword. There you go.
Oh, perfect. Hey, thank you. I'm Not Supply. So yeah, that is really strong then. 1 CP?
Yeah, 1 CP.
Lethal hits and lance. Something's getting hurt.
Yep. And then here is the topping on the cake for that. In your command phase, 1 Adeptus Sardes infantry unit from your army. Select 1 non-character model in your unit. Till the start of your next command phase, your model has the character keyword. So, with that being said, If you have a unit that does not have a character attached to it, you can make it a character unit. And then if you have the CP, you can also give it Focused Fury, which is really good. I believe you have a unit that's really good that does not have an attachable. It cannot attach units to it, right? Or characters.
Yeah, the Ascenders that can deep strike 6 inches. They're 10-inch jump pack infantry with like nasty shooting. Not much for close combat, so that would really help them out. But yeah, there's no characters that can attach to them. Like nothing in the Codex, any of the Space Marine Codexes has them as an opportunity to lead it.
Oh, but
So
yeah,
they'll
it's
forever be characterless.
that's a shooting unit.
It is.
Okay. Is that the only unit that you're aware of right now that can't have a character attached to it?
Scouts. Most times scouts can't get anything.
Not worried about that. I'm talking about melee
Well,
centric.
you can make melee scouts, so when you really need to punch up a little bit with some chain or close combat weapon scouts.
Yeah, I doubt that would. I feel like, well, whatever.
It's 1 CP.
I mean, I guess what it does, it allows you to not have to put a character with every unit is kind of where they're going with that.
The main thing what it does is it gives you access to the angelic inheritors, Sanguinary Grace, Carine Wrath, their appointed hour, whatever 2 you picked, it gives them that.
Yeah. And Psych Seal just, honestly, that was something I like scooted over in my brain, but Psych Seal just pointed that out for me. Appreciate it, bro.
I see that.
Yeah, so that's really good. Strike Now for Glory. In your shooting phase, 1 unit from your army that has not been selected to shoot this phase until the end of the phase, ranged weapons equipped by models in your unit have the sustained hits 1 ability. Dustin, I know you're super excited about this one, so please go ahead.
Okay, when I first saw it, I'm like, wait, shooting Blood Angels, melee army, shooting sustained 1, why? Who wants that? Most good shooting stuff has sustained anyway, right? Those plasma interceptors that I've talked about in almost every detachment, because they are really good, they're expensive, but they're really good. The plasma variant, the stronger variant, doesn't have sustained. This gives them sustained. They're dropping 6 inches from you. They have the ability to jump up and down in a lot of different detachments, but this detachment, you can actually give them sustained. That's sustained hazardous plasma, strength 8, AP minus 3 damage, just twin link destruction.
Magoo! 3 damage.
Linked destruction.
I
like that.
That's a big old cup of
I like
fuck you.
that.
That's the big old cup of what?
Big old cup of fuck you.
Yeah, that's a giant tall glass of, shut
Control,
up.
Alt, Delete.
I'm Not Supply is definitely winning that fight. Are they rapid fire?
No. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't built mine yet. They're still in the box with a cellophane around it.
Well, I mean, rules wise though, you could probably look at it really quick.
I was about to say,
yeah,
if you can tell me what it is, I can pull it up.
I feel like
Oh,
plasma
here it
is usually they got their book, so you won't be able to look it up.
not rapid. Well, no, you can on Wikipedia.
Oh, that's cheating though, dude. You can't do that.
Oh yeah, sorry, my bad. I shouldn't bring that up.
Yeah, what the heck?
That which shall not be named.
While you're looking that up, Dustin, in the shadow.
Oh no, they're assault.
Go ahead.
They're assault weapons.
Okay. Yeah, I know that there's plasma that is rapid fire, so that is a good question.
Assault pistols, so they can still fire them in close combat.
Noise. Wow. What?
Oof.
Yeah.
Wait, those
So 18-inch range on the supercharged versions, 2 shots each model. You have up to 6. Hitting on 3, strength 8, AP minus 3 damage. Assault pistol, hazardous, twin linked.
Dude, that is in every list. That's so fucking crazy.
And they deep strike within 6.
3 damage pistols?
Yeah.
I didn't realize they were
Twin linked.
pistols. Twin linked? Oh my god.
That's gross.
So they have a 10-inch move, and it's assault, so they can advance and shoot.
Are they hazardous at least?
Yeah, on the big version. The smaller versions, It's still 2 shots hitting on 3s, but it's only strength 7, AP -2, 2 damage, assault pistol, twin link.
Oh god, that's just so terrible. No way.
I
Yeah,
know.
it's not a good time.
Horrid.
Yeah, and the cool thing is hazardous doesn't equate to just removing models off the field like it used to. Well,
It's
not
just
hazardous.
roll 1.
Yeah.
Well,
Not 1 per shot.
right. It's it's roll 1d6
weapon fire.
per weapon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And they're holding 2 in the model, but it's considered 1 weapon. That's the twin link.
They're doing that akimbo. Hell yeah.
Gross.
In the Shadow of Great Wings for 1 CP, your opponent's shooting phase just after an enemy unit has selected its targets. One Adeptus character unit from your army that was selected as the target of one or more of the attacking unit's attacks. Until the end of the phase, your unit can only be selected as the target of a ranged attack if the attacking model is within 18 inches. So it gives you lone op. For 1 CP, you can give a unit lone op.
A character.
Character unit.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, there's that thing again.
Yep.
That's actually really good for a melee army.
Very good.
Street
And
Tau.
and for your shooting units, you can make them a character unit army and then give them lone op. I mean, that's expensive. It's 2 CP every time. But
Well, my thought process was like turn 5 when you have that one dude still alive and he's sitting on the objective. It's like there's no way. He's way far on the backside. He's going to get capped off by a fire prism. You're like, 2 CP. No, you're not. He's a character. He has lone op. Go away.
yeah, that's
2 CP to win the game on primaries. Like in that crutch hour, worth it.
yeah, for sure. And I know I asked you earlier about the Centurions just because I love Centurions. Just park them on top of a freaking building and just give them fucking lone op when they get shot at. It's great.
There's another unit that can't have characters.
Yeah. Yep.
Your Centurion units can't have characters.
Not that they need it. They're like
They really don't.
2+4+4 wounds, and they shoot las cannons. Yeah, it's awesome.
When linked las cannons,
That's so good.
they're the non-moving version of the interceptors.
Unto the Burning Skies for 1 CP. End of your opponent's fight phase. 1 Adeptus Astartes jump pack unit from your army. You cannot target a unit that is within engagement range of 1 or more enemy units unless it's the Sanguinor. Remove your unit from the battlefield and place it into strategic reserves. I know that you have a lot to say about this one, Dustin, so I'm going to give you the mic.
That one's going to get used every single game, probably every turn if I can. Inceptors again, they can drop within 6. They're going up and down all the time. Just dropping a tanky unit like Sanguinary Guard onto an objective, like pick them up, they're over here now. So it only works with jump pack units though, so I can't use it on like Terminators or anything like that. Can't use it on Assault Intercessors. But we've got jump pack units to choose from. The standard jump pack units, the Assault Intercessors with jump packs. You've got Death Company with jump packs, Sanguinary Guard, Vanguard Veterans who have Storm Shields and have an invulnerable save, so they're just a tanky, cheap unit. They can sit on objectives. Their output's not that great. Just a constant up and down onto objectives while you're still able to advance, fall back, etc. I mean, your board presence is going to be huge.
Right.
Like it.
What about the Sanguinor?
And then there's the Sanguinar, who, keep in mind, once per battle, can come out of reserves and straight into combat against a unit that charged one of your other units. So it's just that once per battle thing. If you didn't use it the first time you brought him in from reserves, say turn 3 came around, it kept you from charging me. He's like, I don't want to mess with that Sanguinar. I'm not going to charge him until turn 4. Or at least after his turn 3 when everything had to come in. Or it dies. I had to bring Sanguinar in. You could throw him back up and have him do his interrupt thing. So now your army that you're holding back on charges out of fear of Sanguinar, he's back. Like, he's scarier in reserves than he is on the table.
And why is he scarier in reserves than he is on the table?
He pops straight into combat if you charge me.
No, I get it,
like,
but in conjunction with the reroll hit rolls of 1, reroll wound rolls of 1, and also his fights first ability. Am I right?
Yes, he has fights first. He has 8 attacks that are just craziness. He gets all those angelic inheritors abilities as well. So whichever ones you chose, Carmine Wrath, etc.
Yeah, so I guess what I'm saying is you charge my unit, I just drop the Sanguinor in, and he gets to fight first.
Daddy, chill.
Because he has fights first.
With rerolling hits, rerolling wound wounds of 1, he's already a beat stick. He hits on 2s.
Yep.
He basically just has free rerolls.
Yep. Yeah, so very terrifying for really anything. I mean, he just basically drops in. He's like, oh, you thought you were going to kill them? Nope. Here's a fuck you bomb. Boom.
He should be a disciple of Nurgle with how disgusting that is. Nothing? All right. Okay. Gonna shut up. That's all I had to add. That's all I had to add.
You're so dumb, dude. Sykeseal said his threat, he hits hard as I've been saying fuck whatever. I was like, I'm not gonna read that, and then all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, I'm just throwing that out there nonstop. So why risk having
the thing?
why risk using Jim, what's up, dude?
Jim,
why risk having your unit get shredded in a counter charge? Yeah, dude, it's so good, man. The fights first, along with his rerolls to hit and rerolls to wound. It's so good. Nothing?
No, you don't get anything.
Who gets
laugh at my joke?
I laughed. I thought it was funny.
I needed more. It wasn't enough.
I literally threw my head back and then laughed out loud. I don't know what you want more from me. Like what?
I needed way more than that. That was not. I needed like cackling. Like I need you to fall out of your chair.
Anyway,
joke was a disciple of Nurgle.
Ignoring John because nobody cares what he has to say anymore. The biggest question is this detachment better than Liberator Assault Group?
Not in my opinion, no. I still think Liberator Assault Group it just hits too hard. It does give us the ability to advance and charge. That +1 attack by itself is already huge, but then +2 strength. Like with this one, with Angelic Inheritors, I've actually got to bring las cannons. I got to bring actual anti-tank stuff. I just can't overload Power Fist and expect that to do anti-tank work, anti-monster work.
Hold on, Dustin.
That changes.
Hey, Paul. Oh, okay, you said he'd be right back. Sorry, I thought he was getting off. If you can't, later, buddy. Appreciate you hanging out with us.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Sorry, go ahead, Dustin. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah. So, Liberator Assault Group, in the way you make your list, so I've actually got to add in dedicated anti-tank stuff for this list, whereas in Liberator Assault, that same Death Company unit I was going to bring, I threw in a couple of Power Fists, it is anti-tank. I think I can get more per unit out of the Liberator Assault Group.
I will say, this is coming from somebody that's nowhere near as qualified to talk about as you are, but I love the shenanigans in this. This feels this is, if I was to play Blood Angels, which I would never because I don't worship the false emperor. This
Corpse God?
This the corpse god, yeah. This is probably what I would play. This looks like a lot of fun to play.
It's definitely fun.
Yeah, but the shenanigans, man. It's just especially with that Sanguinor. Like that thing right there alone is just, it's so good.
Do we ever go into his numbers? Like actual stat line?
Yeah.
Everything?
Yeah. You just read it to us a minute ago.
Okay.
If you like shenanigans, Angelic Host with its up down is pretty funny. Yeah, I don't disagree.
Yes.
I feel like this one's got more teeth though.
Yeah, because this one could do that too, to
right.
a much lesser extent.
Actually, if I dare say, I feel like that this is kind of a combination of both. This is like a little bit of both.
I think you were supposed to say a little bit more bite.
A little bit more teeth? I don't know, I got big teeth. Whatever, dude.
They bite, they're kind of like vampires. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, but they also bite with their teeth, so,
Yeah, but bite sounds cooler.
Ipso facto. That's not how you use that at all.
Ipso facto.
I feel like this has kind of got. It doesn't have the hitting power that the what's it called?
Liberator Assault.
Yeah, the Liberator Assault does. It's got
None of them do.
Right, but this one has the up down a little bit, and it also has a little, like more of a bite than the Angelic Host. Am I wrong in thinking that?
If it could just get an advance and charge, this would be really good. But it's so hard to get away from Liberator Assault with that army-wide ability.
I don't think you need it as much as you think you need it. This has got, you've got so much movement. You're not hindered by terrain. Like, there shouldn't really be a reason why you need all of this and advance and charge. I don't think you need it as much as you think you will.
As a World Eaters player,
Say what, John?
I was gonna say, as a World Eaters player, I would say that I really like advance and charge. So for melee, which I know Blood Angels has some good melee, I think it's cool to have.
Oh yeah, for sure.
One hundo. Is it necessary? Maybe not, but like when I hear advance and charge, I'm like, oh yeah.
Is it necessary?
That I drink my own urine?
Damn it, dude! You beat me to it, motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
Heard me.
Maybe that's my mindset.
You heard me saying it. You heard me saying it.
No, it's sterile, and I like the taste. So that's how I feel about advance and charge.
By the way, pee is not sterile, so don't drink it. It's not good for you. But I
thought you can once. I thought that was the rule. Did Bear Grylls lie to me?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh no!
I thought it was better to drink other people's pee because it has the minerals that your body would need more likely. Because you just peed out those. I don't need those minerals.
Is that true?
So
are you trying to convince me to drink other people's pee?
You can.
Kind of.
You can drink your friend's pee, but you can't drink your own pee. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
This is a Hero Hammer detachment. Throw as many characters. You got to try it at least twice. This is a Hero Hammer detachment. Throw as many characters into the list as possible and go nuts. Yeah, I mean, dude, that movement, man, that 12-inch movement, I feel like, it does want you, it is pushing you to bring more characters, obviously, for sure, because everything is based around, pretty much having characters. But even still, man, I mean, that movement, that 12-inch movement, there isn't a lot that I've been dealing with gameplay-wise where you have that kind of power and killiness with units that move that quickly that don't get hindered by terrain. Like, I think there's a little lack of appreciation for being able to move through ruins unhindered. You know what I mean? Because they're infantry.
Quick interjection. Not to disrupt, but the game said,
yes,
you English-speaking people are weird. 100, not even a point of debate. You are correct.
That could also just be years of abuse by the American military.
Dude, a game, I actually forgot you're in here. You weren't supposed to hear any of that. That's secret American stuff that
close your virgin ears. I don't know how good your English is, but close them.
That's not what we were actually saying, but
yeah, we were just talking about, like survival situations, not like what we do on a daily basis.
At least I didn't tell him about my secret plan to distill my own urine into a light liquor and then sell it.
Wow. Yeah.
Internationally.
Is that like a thing?
You can do that?
What?
What are you talking about, Dustin? The military tells me I'm a valuable member of a team.
No, they said Met Standard.
Met Standard.
Oh, I know
that's my life in a nutshell.
I know that you are a salty dog right now, Dustin. We won't go into that, but
Meets Standard.
So Dustin, please run through and I know that you didn't have a ton of time. We're actually going to be talking about, originally we were going to be talking about Gene Stealers.
I'm not supposed to make a list.
But yeah. I know you did. Shut up.
No.
Really? Are you
not for the new one. I've got lists for the other ones that I built forever ago. No, I didn't have any time to make a list.
He's a liar.
No, I hang on. Give me 5 minutes.
Yeah, see, I said something along the lines of this was really impromptu considering it was released today.
All
I
right.
think it was something like that.
I get it. I get it. Unfortunately, we had to switch we had to go into third gear because unfortunately the gentleman that was supposed to be talking about gene stealers was not able to, or I was assuming he couldn't because he had some issues. So yeah, we did switch gears over to Blood Angels. Are you messing with me, Dustin? I thought you had made one.
Dude, it's not even available on the Warhammer app yet.
Oh, well, yeah, I know. You still build a list, like with these rules in mind. I do know that the same... I mean, that's fine. Not a big deal. I thought you had a list, but that's, whatever, dude. We'll just do everything you want to do.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I like that idea. Also, a quick interjection, not to get too sidetracked, but would we be going into third gear or would we be gearing down?
Side grade.
Yeah, is this like we went down to like we had to take it back a gear because
we were in fourth gear.
Like we're having to brake. Oh no! Like we're having to brake.
We were in fourth gear and we went down to third gear, putting it.
We just put it straight into we put it straight into neutral so we could put on the brakes.
I'm not surprised that Dustin frantically tries to figure out how to put 3 Mephistons into a list.
You got this. I can keep talking in the meantime. Don't worry.
Are you watch Dustin's doing it right now? That's
what I'm saying. I saw him fidgeting, and I'm like, I can talk for at least 20 minutes straight, uninterrupted.
Chaplain on a bike. Plus,
no worries here.
How are the bikes for Blood Angels? Are they? Because dude, every time I've forgotten that bikes even exist because they just, other than the Dark Angels attachment, which by the way, super cool. I don't think we've got. Yes, actually, we did go over Dark Angels, John. I think you and I covered that a couple weeks ago.
We touched on it. We didn't go too in depth.
We touched it.
Yeah, I touch a lot of things, but that we barely touched that.
Right. True. John, Dante's arthritis. Now's your chance. What? Wait. What?
Don't worry, guys. Let me pull that thing up.
Ooh.
I got notes.
I don't know if I want you to pull that thing up, dude.
Oh, we're pulling it up.
That thing.
Give Dustin a chance to scramble a list together.
yeah, that's what I'm doing. So with Dante has been around for a while. He is not allowed to die because he is too important. He is protected by the lore in the books, which I did after kind of like digging into the lore for Blood Angels. I 100% want to read the books. I think that'll be my next big lore endeavor because they are interesting. Are they as interesting as Caiaphas Cain? I don't know. I'll have to read and see if it's not too dry. But so on to the arthritis. He did have to go surgery to the Rubicon surgery, so he could become Primaris Space Marine. So he's already been through that. Which, if you do not know and you haven't played the Space Marine 2, it basically kind of edits your body. With your muscle mass and strength, it's a bad time. The more I read into it, the more I'm kind of starting to think that, maybe not being a Space Marine isn't as cool as it's...
No, it's awful.
It's all panned out to be. I'm kind of like, oh, this kind of seems inconvenient. Like, I don't want a regular surgery, let alone one that makes me the ultimate human.
Yeah, no, forget that, dude. I would not be. Yeah. I would hate to be a Space Marine. Yeah.
This might be might be a bad time.
You're not gonna have a good time, Dustin. You really don't need to build a list, dude. It's fine. I thought
I can talk.
No, it's not going well. John is reaching right now. No,
I'm reading so fast right now.
No, it's fine. So I mean,
well, I'll tell you where I started with. So Assault Intercessor Squad is a battle line unit I really didn't talk about a whole lot. They've got a really cool ability. And this is every Space Marine can do this thing. But if they can reroll wound rolls of 1 already, but if it's on an objective, they reroll all their wound rolls. So you attach a character to that, which this is a really good detachment for characters. They get that ability picked up. They're just fully rerolling wound rolls.
Hmm. Who? What
Thinking
unit?
of Thunderhammer.
What unit is
That's
this?
the Assault Intercessor Squad. It's a 75-point battle line unit, just on foot. Chain swords and bolt pistols go. But when it comes to taking over objectives, you put a slapstick character, like just make a beat stick captain, stick them in there. And captains actually have a once per game ability, just the regular foot captain. Once per game ability. Once per battle at the start of the fight phase, this model can use its ability if it does. Until the end of phase, add 3 to the attack's characteristics.
Good grief. For him or for the unit?
For him, just him. And his weapons have devastating wounds. And then you give him, you send him with an assault.
Yeah.
Yeah, O's a moment, so he's rerolling everything to hit. He's getting the devastating wounds, so he's rerolling his entire wounds as well. And he's rocking like 9 or 10 swings. It gets pretty gross pretty fast.
Yeah, my brain is stupid. I was thinking oaths for lethals, and then you were talking about devastating wounds. I'm dumb. Yeah, my bad. Psych said Outriders get a strength and damage on the charge. I'm assuming +1. Bike Chap gives dev wounds and +1 to wound. Nice.
I know he gave dev wounds, and that includes shooting. Chap on bike might be worth looking for.
I mean, that's fine. Well, what we can do is when we cover actually Sunday, we're going to be covering Imperial Guard, which we definitely will have a list for.
And I not only that, but I know a ton of lore for Imperial Guard. But also, when we get a chance, let me know, because I now have learned enough about Dante and why he is so wary, which it makes sense, and I can go over that if we have a break.
Yeah, I think we're hitting that 2-hour mark right now. So I think, if you want to give us a quick rundown, that would be cool.
Yes, let me give a quick rundown, because it is super interesting. So the Dante actually has kind of like lingering that it could be it hasn't been like directly described, but he has like a ability to where he can kind of see the future. He has like a far-seeing eye that was something that was inherent to Sanguinius, and he believes that one day he might be in charge of the defense of the Emperor, which, as some other factions have called him, some of the less pious factions call him the Corpse Emperor. He kind of sees that burden, and it's kind of like overwhelming. Like he has to defend, who he views as his, like his ultimate father, like the god, if you will. So he's kind of wary of it. He's been alive for centuries, and he's been successful, but it's like, when you're successful for so long, I feel like there may be a time where you're kind of like, oh, what if I fail? It's going to kind of undo everything I've done because I've been so successful thus far. And him actually having to think that he one day needs to defend the God Emperor of Man, I could see how that is kind of wary. And he just kind of wants to die. This dude's depressing. I really got to read these books. The more I read into it, the more interesting it is. How wild is that? Like you kind of, you can kind of see into the future, and you're like, oh, one day I need to defend who I think is my god. Why? Why have I lived this long? Why is this my job? Because he's done so much already. Ooh, this is good. I'm gonna have to dig a little bit deeper into this. We might have to do a little Blood Angels lore theme.
Yeah,
lore stream. So
I feel like almost all the factions besides Tau have really
okay. Tau have a lot of lore for as little of they've been around.
They have really good lore. Tyranids also. I'm not a big Tyranids fan personally.
Tyranids have less lore, but they're interesting in terms of like how they go about consuming biomass.
I don't like nuclear weapons, and that's a nuclear weapon. You know what I mean? It's like it spells
100%.
It spells the end of the universe. I don't want this universe to end, so therefore I do not like. I just don't like Tyranids. Not a Tyranid fan.
Will you allow me to throw in a little bit of conspiracy?
Sure.
Well, it's a little bit of conspiracy. So I think that the Eldar actually were the ones that introduced ethereals to Tau, so they could have another ally to fight against like Tyranids. That might sound crazy, but think about it. It's like the Eldari have been around for so long, and they kind of know, like, oh, this is a big threat. Maybe if we make more allies, you know what I mean? Like, they kind of guided this civilization, because when you look at Tau lore, Tau got advanced really quickly comparatively to everyone else.
Yeah, they also can't deal with Tyranids were the shit. That's why they asked the Drukhari to help them, and they got...
I mean, like,
they got
that
shafted quite literally.
That is true, but it's like having another distraction so you can do all the work. Like, that makes sense for like that's a total Eldar move.
No, dude.
No. My conspiracy.
No. You can't justify Tau asking help from Drukhari because they had no clue who they were asking, and pretty much losing their home world because they.
I'm not. When I say that, I don't think that it was Drukhari specifically. I think Eldar kind of had a hand in like trying to advance that. I think Eldar might have actually had a hand in orcs as well. I mean, this sounds crazy.
No, there's actual lore behind that. Orcs were created. I think they were created by. Wait, did you say they were created by Eldar?
Yes.
I can't remember the Eldar. Okay, so Eldar were created by.
I thought it was the Eldar, right?
The old ones created the Eldar, and I can't remember if the old ones created the orcs or if Eldar created the orcs. It's been a while since I've looked at it.
I thought it was Eldar. I mean, it could be. I could be completely wrong, but I think Eldar are really good at making like buffers, so they can fight everybody else.
Real quick, I'm not supply said. I just like the humble story of the friendship envoys that went with the Drukhari the first time they met. Oh!
Attention, we are being followed. Shall I dispatch the welcoming drones?
Hey, what's going on?
I can't say that name.
Plush. Wow, that's Plush Rush Inc. Holy Lord, that just was a tongue twister for me. Thank you so
I'll
much.
let you say that thing.
Go ahead. No, hold on.
The game said orcs were created by Necrons.
Hold on. Plush Rush, definitely appreciate the follow. Thank you so much. This is the type of shenanigans that we do. We sit here and nerd out and talk about how bad Tau are and how worthless they are. And John gets super upset, and we all have a good time.
Yeah, I love Tau. Let's stop hating on the greater good.
Oh God, dude. So I was listening to a video today about Necrons and how out of control Necrons are right now. I don't have any specific examples because
how convenient.
Yeah, true.
How convenient of you.
Unfortunately, it was compared to, I was watching Art of War, and they were saying that it's not Eldar start of 10th, but it's close to. So I'm a little concerned. I am excited about reading about it because Necrons are definitely the next army that I'm picking up. John, you can suck it. I'm
going with Astra Militarum, so.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm not sucking it. Yeah, that's right.
I'm not sucking it.
I'm not sucking it. You're sucking it, dude.
The old ones created both. That's what I thought. Okay, thank you, Jim.
So it is that. I still think that Eldar had a hand in Tau, but it's also a good point that I'm Not Supply said Tau exists so GW could compete with Gundam Wing, which
exactly
I would agree with, but like they really need to make the Tau models with better feet, because ever since Kyle pointed out the fact that
they look like chicken
battle
feet.
suits have chicken feet. Yeah, I don't like that.
I hate it.
I wish you didn't say that. If you didn't say that, I would have never noticed it too. So it's like you're forever. Like, I love my Tau army, but I don't like the the weird feet. They do look kind of like
Yeah,
chicken feety.
It's
I don't like it.
Yeah, it's awful. Not a fan.
Let's just not bring it up anymore. Let's just not talk. Let's talk
sir?
about how cool they are. They're their battle suits.
You brought it up.
Voltron had lions' faces for his feet, so I mean,
That's true. That's very true.
That's kind of cool.
I'm Not Supply said Tau only exists so that GW could compete with Gundam Wing in Japan.
I just said that. You're 2 steps behind.
Oh, did you? Wow.
Way to not listen to me.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I was making sure that the lights went off properly because they constantly don't. So my bad. Also,
everyone shamed this man.
I wasn't listening
Shame
either
him.
because you were talking about Tau, and I just have an aversion to Tau. So
I love them so much.
I love them so much. If anybody doesn't know,
if I was not the Slaneshi cult, I would be Tau.
You're like, I want to get on a mountain to profess my love for Tau right now.
Yeah, I love those guys. What a happy time! Like communism may not be the greatest thing in our world, but in the 40K universe, it might be a little better than everything else.
the
The Imperium of Man is not giving it for me. I mean, maybe a cult I could get into. I'm very malleable as a person.
What?
So I could see myself getting sucked into a cult.
What did you say, Dustin?
I was saying they're communism, but they actually have accurate firearms.
Very true. They do have the nice guns, and they don't pray to their equipment, which is a boon.
Dude, I
sure.
love the fact that if we could get a tech priest here and show them how we turn on our computer, they're like, whoa, what is this? Why do you not have candles lit? Why do you not have the little balls that have the smoke coming off of them?
That would be so funny. Imagine opening an email and it's like, all right, I have to say the prayer of opening.
Dude, could you
and then
picture
click this button?
Could you picture how long your day would take if you had for everything you had to pray to everything?
That would actually be like a blessing. I feel like I would get so much not done, but that's what's the standard. So it'd be very nice. I could really take my time with my prayers, and people are like, wow, you did such a good job.
You call your boss, be like, yeah, my car wouldn't start. And you're like, well, the Lord works in mysterious ways.
Yes. He is not gifted me with the rite of activation. I forgot my keys.
Yeah, what a great excuse to not go to work.
This would actually be kind of cool to be in the AdMech, so you could be like, I said the things, but maybe I was missing a key right, or a key part of the scripture, and I can't do that right now. Sorry.
I'm Not Supply.
Super lazy.
I'm Not Supply said show them the toaster. And Syke said, I'll take the blonde-haired space vampires over the blue cowfish any day. Hell yes, I agree. I would 100% rather be in the Imperium than be in the Tau.
That is a lie. That is 100% a lie. Every time I've ever talked to Kyle, hold
on. I'm not talking about hive cities. I'm talking about I would rather be a space marine. I would not.
No, I don't even think you're talking about that.
Not Astromilitarium.
Every time I talk to Kyle, he's like, "No, that's too vanilla. I don't like it. I want to be a Xenos." And how are Xenos? So.
I am about to mute your mic because you are speaking blasphemy, and I don't agree. And
you do 100. You have said these words verbatim.
Did you imagine being conscripted into the Astromilitarium, though? Imperial Guard?
Gotta be awful.
Yeah, here's a flashlight. Go fight that Carnifex.
Here's a flashlight. Go fight that Carnifex. Yeah, no. Fuck being in the Imperial Guard. That is awful. The only thing I like about the Imperial Guard, in reference to any of this, is I really like the idea of hearing a conversation between two guard members while they're on watch or something. You know what I mean? Like that typical stormtrooper from Star Wars kind of thing.
Yeah.
I would not want to be a Slanesh cultist. See, the game, you're looking at it the wrong way, because I 100% would be in a Slanesh cult.
Yeah.
Instantly.
Your pain would become pleasure. I stub my toe all the time. I would love to love that. But then, you kind of want to love it more,
Oh my god. Yeah, like
maybe it's not as good as I think it is, like in my mind. You know, like I have a real hard time actualizing things, but like on the surface, Slaneshi cult sounds pretty cool.
No,
Jeans Stealer cults get extra arms.
I don't want that.
No, you don't want to be Gene Stealer cults though. No, fuck that. Like you're spending your entire existence turning a population. Exactly. Thank you,
Extra
Jim.
arms.
What are you gonna do with extra arms when the freaking
the game said they put stuff in their butts?
Yeah,
but I mean, like,
that's so much more complicated.
That's the price you gotta pay for.
Wait, hold on.
ultimate
Oh,
pleasure.
he's saying Slanesh. I got you. I thought.
No, I'm just going back to Slanesh. Sorry, I should have said that before I, talked about
Vicious, of course. Extra arms. That's hot. Vicious would 1000% be right there with us in a fucking Slanesh cult. Instant,
Yeah,
like not
100%.
even, no doubt about it.
No question.
If you needed extra arms, the Emperor would have given them to you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. If you worship the corpse god.
Yeah. Yeah. You square. Ugh.
Yeah, you nerd.
Yeah. Whatever, nerd.
So we have gotten far off topic, but I do have to ask, since we do have 3 people here, what of the chaos gods would you not want to worship?
Corn.
See, I don't agree with that.
I like Zinch. I respect the grind.
I can't go with Zinch. I think Zinch would be my least favorite. Let's hear Dean's first before we go on to the explanation. Dean, if you had to choose a chaos god to not worship, who would it be?
Nurgle.
Okay, so we got 3 different ones. That's good.
Yeah.
Let's start with Kyle.
Okay,
tell us why you wouldn't want to worship Korn.
Dude, just angry all the time? No, and
that doesn't sound like different from real life. Imagine you're in
dude,
traffic.
And
you're just in traffic constantly.
That's my life. Yeah, dude. I have like an hour and a half drive every day. I live that life already. That is butcher's nails in my fucking brain all the time. I want to have escapism. I do not want to deal with what I deal with on a regular basis. Fuck that. And let me tell you something, Dustin. You know,
let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
Let me fucking fucking Jim. I play Night Lords, no need for gods. Oof, Night Lords. Yes, I love Night Lords. I wish they would come out with a full army for them in their own fucking book because they deserve it. Not to mention the fact that they're fuck, what's his name? I can't think of his name right now.
Also, good night, Psych Seal. Before we go too far.
Oh, is he leaving? Good night, brother.
Take it easy.
Getting up early with the baby. Hell yeah, dude. I can't think of his name right now. His the Primarch, where he let himself be assassinated to prove a point, and I fucking respect that. Yep, Conrad. I love it, dude. I love that. But going back to Dustin, Nurgle is actually like one of the ones that you would. They're super nice. All he's want to do is have a good time.
You let Dustin explain for himself. We each explain our choices on our own. Dustin, tell us why.
Which one's? Who's got the Noise Marines?
Slanesh.
That's the Slanesh.
Slanesh.
Oh, so you wouldn't want to be in Slanesh?
Nah, I probably would.
No, he's saying he would want to be in Slanesh.
I don't know much about Chaos.
Which one would you... Oh, that might not be the best question, though.
Well, okay, so Zinch plays a bunch of mind games, and he knows that you want to know the secrets of the universe, and he's constantly... Okay.
Let me go into it.
Did the middle of my sentence interrupt the beginning of yours, sir?
Yes, because this is the one I chose, and you have to let me give my reasoning.
Go ahead.
So I wouldn't want to worship Zinch because, like, I have a lot of moments in my real life where I can't quite, like, remember something, and I feel like Zinch would like that. Like, this is knowledge that you don't have, and I have. Ha ha ha. I hate that. I would not want to, especially, like, think about Ahriman in the lore. Constantly searching for the Black Library. Zinch knows where it's at, but it's like giving him little hints. It would feel like I have dementia 24/7. No thanks. I would rather be angry. I'd rather be plague-ridden but happy. I'd rather be, searching excess constantly. I feel like those are better.
the game said this feels like such a trap question
Yes.
from Inquisition members.
Exactly what it is.
You know,
we're really trying to bait out the
Couple of Grey Knights knock on your door.
the corrupted.
but anyway, yeah. So Sunday we will be doing Imperial Guard. We will be doing a deep dive. We will be having another guest on that knows a lot more about Imperial Guard than gameplay, and I would assume probably lore. They will be coming on and kind of walking us through how they play Guard and what they like about the new detachment, what they like about the other ones. So pretty excited about that. And I think after this, probably around 11:30. I don't know, John. Are we still playing video games today?
Yeah, I'm game. I have nothing to do tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, we might be. I can't remember what we're getting on. I think we're playing the game that's like the movie The Thing. I think we were planning on doing Backrooms, but
Hold on, I can look it up real quick.
But
It's a nightmare hour, maybe.
No, it's a
nuclear nightmare. Sorry.
Yeah.
I
Nuclear
don't know
nightmare.
why that. Yeah, I do not know why I said nightmare hour.
Hey, the game. You're bringing you're going to LVO. So I went to LVO last year. I brought Drukari. When they had a 38% win rate. Yeah.
Day one was outstanding.
Day one was amazing. I did very well. I was placed at 209 out of 1,000. And then the second day came, and my dice turned on me. My brother came, met me at LVO because he lives somewhat close to Nevada, and he saw my dice rolls, went and bought me a new set of dice, used those dice, saw how I was rolling, bought me another set of dice. Like, there was just nothing I could do. It was just so bad. Vicious said, I'm just going to be the hype man because I still don't understand any of this. And we appreciate, Vicious, we love you. Thank you so much. That's not how the power from pain is supposed to work. Yeah, I know. Well, you know what happens is, I would re-roll and still get ones and twos. It was ridiculous, dude.
Pain from pain.
I would roll, hit everything, and then wound nothing. Like, it happens so often. Or if I finally got something to wound, they would make their save, or I would roll like a 1 for damage. It was out of control. But the game that we're gonna play is Nuclear Nightmare, I think, and it's based on, from what I've read in the reviews. Oh, excuse me. It was based on the movie The Thing. And actually, real quick, the game, I'm really interested to see what you will be bringing to LVO. So if you don't mind, I would love to invite you to our Discord so that you could post your list so we can maybe dissect, and maybe Sunday we could take a look at it and talk about it if you're interested. Only if you're interested. You want the Blood Angels or the Space Wolves? What are we talking about? Oh, when's our rematch?
I'm not
I got
supply.
you. Yeah, I got
I'm not
you.
supply. Wants a rematch.
Jim, I am forever disappointed that you are so going hard into Guard right now.
Jim, I love it. I know Jim reads the books, the Caiaphas Cain books, so he already knows.
Yeah.
That's why I like the Guard.
I thought we were Nurgle brothers, but I guess we're not. Whatever, dude. I'm just kidding. Yeah, so I think that about wraps it up, guys. Any last statements, Dustin? Any final thoughts on this new detachment? Now that we have completely derailed and gone down all kinds of different routes, but kind of bringing it back just a teensy weensy bit. Do you have anything that you'd like to say, or are you have you said everything you can?
I'll go with more of a prediction. Are we going to see this at top tables, competitive games? Probably not. I don't see it as being the super competitive version. I still see the Liberty Assault Force taking that one. Do I see Blood Angels as a whole being super competitive. I know their win rate has gone down recently. They had a lot of nerfs from the old Sons of Sanguinus detachment. It was basically like Liberator Assault Force, but a couple of the units got nerfed, like Death Company. You can't bring all Inferno Pistols and Power Fist now, things like that. Some of the equipment options went down. So I would say overall Liberator is still going to be the most competitive choice. God, that blazing icon with no Overwatch is still so great.
Yeah. Dustin, the Daddy Chill Redeem is ready, sir.
Daddy chill.
Nope, lost it. I don't know, man. I don't know I've got a good idea of the army. I feel like this is really good, man. I'm not saying it's better.
Bad.
I'm not saying it's better, but I do feel like it feels like it would have more opportunity for it would have more of an opportunity for some shenanigans. That's all I'm saying. And I love shenanigans. I'm a shenanigan player.
There's definitely some gotcha hammer on here.
Yeah. And I love it. That Sanguinor one in particular is just so good.
Yeah,
I mean, he's good in any list. He's just better in this one. Yeah, the no Overwatch is definitely a gotcha. The standing back up with 3 wounds is a gotcha. Being able to put your jump packs back up in reserves is not the detachment that does that. So crap, I didn't realize you could do that. Making a just random dude of characters definitely a gotcha.
Yeah, I love it, dude. I'm a fan. I'm going to make a prediction and say that it will be making its way into some of the top tables. Just me. Just my prediction. Don't cancel me over it. I don't want to be canceled.
Don't cancel me.
Don't cancel me.
Just unpopular opinion, but I don't think that this should be the way it is. Don't cancel me.
Anyway, certainly appreciate y'all hanging out. Excuse me. I am going to throw us right back into Game Club Central since he was so gracious enough to raid us. So let's do a raid on him and talk as much trash as we can, respectfully and nicely, I guess. But yeah, definitely appreciate you guys hanging out, and I will see you guys on the next one. And well, I guess the next one here is going to be in about an hour. If you're not interested in horror video games, like I said, we're going to be going over Imperial Guard on Sunday, so make sure you guys are there for that one.
Yeah,
but
and I'll be talking about the Caiaphas Cain novels in case you want to get interested in the books.
So, all right, guys. Dustin, John, appreciate it as always. Thank you for your knowledge in your Blood Angels. So definitely appreciate it, and I will see you guys later.
I'll see you then, or I'll see you at another time.
See you at another